Flying an FPV drone is a lot harder than most people realize. Even when you finally understand the controls, there is this frustrating gap where it feels like other pilots are completely one with their drone and you're just barely controlling yours. This gap between just flying and understanding how to master your drone can really test your patience. You're crashing constantly, stuff breaks, a lot of repairs, and if things are really bad, you might even end up spending more time on the workbench repairing your gear than actually flying your drone. Hi guys, and welcome back. If you want to know how to go from being able to fly a drone to full-on
Pro Pilot Mode
really quickly, today's video is for you. We're going over a few things every beginner should do to cut down the frustration, make the whole FPV journey way more enjoyable, and ultimately become a better pilot fast. You've got your radio and you spent a dozen of hours or so on your sim and feel comfortable that it's finally time for your first real flight with a real drone. You did your research and you've got yourself a tiny whoop because the internet says so, but then you realize that you spend most of your time at school or at work, and while these 65 and 75mm whoops can be flown pretty much anywhere, over time you find yourself not flying as much as you thought you would. Maybe because progress is slow or because you're too tired when you come home from work. The point I'm trying to make here is, especially as a beginner, you need to choose a drone that fits your environment and your daily routine, so you can improve quickly enough to bridge the gap between being able to control a drone and actually having fun doing all kinds of tricks and exploring new areas and experience everything FPV is really about. It's a bit like skateboarding. Once you manage to stay on the board and maybe do an ollie, you want to do the same stuff the cool kids do, right? While whoops are incredibly fun and great for practice, they aren't necessarily the best choice for someone living in a windy area, let's say. You can fly them indoors, but that can be tough for someone just starting out, as they might need a little extra space. Remember, the goal here is to progress as fast as possible so you can go from flying to really enjoying FPV fully. And if your local park tends to be too windy for a lightweight whoop, you'd be much better off with a larger 2 or maybe 2.5-inch drone. Plus, bigger drones are usually easier to repair because the solder pads aren't microscopic. Now, I personally would still stick to micros as a beginner, so everything up to 2.5-inch and 250 grams, simply because these builds are lightweight and durable enough to not break instantly and also stealthy enough to be flown in more places compared to bigger 5-inch drones. Before you buy or build your first drone, ask yourself these 3 questions to make sure you get the perfect setup for you. Do you just want to fly for the fun of it, or do you have a specific idea in mind? Now, this does not necessarily directly impact how fast you progress and develop your skill in this hobby, but it is still an important question that can save you a lot of money in the long run. If all you care about is flying and doing all kinds of flippy flops, small drones and an analog video system will probably work for you. You can fly them pretty much anywhere, and analog gear can be quite inexpensive. Unless you specifically want to go digital, this combination can be really cheap and bring you tons of joy. If you're just starting out, but you already know you mostly want to get those smooth cinematic shots, you probably want to go digital and carry an action camera on your drone. If you want to go on all sorts of long-range missions, you can go analog or digital, but your drone should be equipped with GPS and be highly efficient to get the longest flight times possible. Keeping this in mind is crucial when making your first big purchases like your goggles and your radio. Many people buy a cheap radio and a pair of box goggles to start out with, and there is nothing wrong with that, but if you already know which direction you're heading, it might be worth investing in something that actually brings you closer to where you want to be in the future. Another even more important question you have to ask yourself is, where do I spend most time throughout my day and when do I plan on flying my drone? If you want to fly mostly indoors, like during your lunch break, after school, or when you get home from work, a 65mm whoop is perfect for you. If indoors isn't your preferred choice, but you have a nice small park near work with little to no wind, you might want to go for a 75mm whoop instead. However, if the wind tends to be just a bit too strong where you live, but you have a nice patch of trees nearby or on your way home from work, consider jumping up to a 2.5 or 3-inch drone. Keep it under 250 grams, as most countries have much looser regulations for that weight class, and it gives you the perfect drone for your circumstances. Just whip it out and fly as part of your daily routine. Keep in mind that where you fly has a big impact on how often you'll be breaking things and ultimately how much time you have to spend fixing your gear. Flying bandos or over concrete all the time is much harder on your gear than flying in an open field. In a field, your drone might act as a lawnmower in the grass, but you won't snap arms, rip frames or break motors nearly as easily. Whoops are generally much more durable than bigger, heavier drones, but they are also quite a bit harder to fix. Also, flying a tiny whoop in a big open area with only a couple of bushy trees gets boring very quickly. It's like buying a billboard just to write a text message on it. It's a huge waste of space. A larger drone, however, which you might even build yourself, is much more fun in those bigger spaces and has the added benefit of being a lot easier and quicker to repair when something inevitably breaks. And that brings us to the next question. Do I have any soldering experience? Fixing any FPV drone requires soldering at some point. If you have no previous soldering experience, by now you know fixing a 65 or 75mm whoop is going to be a challenge. But if you feel up for it, hats off to you. Just know that the components and solder pads are tiny and you're mostly dealing with highly integrated all-in-one flight controllers, which can make troubleshooting a nightmare. Getting into FPV is exactly like weightlifting. When you first start hitting the gym, you notice huge gains in the first year because your body gets shocked into growing. After that, progress slows down drastically. Learning to fly a drone is just like those early days of lifting. You level up fast and the rush keeps you hyped, but taking your skills from just cruising around to absolute
Arnold Schwarzenegger mode
takes a serious long-term grind. In FPV, that long-term grind comes down to one thing: stick time. Just like real-world pilots who measure their experience in flight hours, drone pilots measure their progress by how many hours they spend with their thumbs on the gimbals. I think it's clear what I'm getting at here. To become a good pilot fast, you need a lot of stick time, and that only works if you can fit flying into your daily routine. That's why it's hard to suggest the exact same drone to every beginner. To avoid hitting a wall right after that initial "look at me, I can fly" phase, you need to spend as much time as possible actually in the air. I know that sounds obvious, but trust me, I've been there. When I first started out, I built a 5-inch drone, but unlike a lot of pilots in places like the US who have much more space to fly right outside their doors, I didn't have anywhere near enough room to practice flying a drone that size where I lived. Packing up, finding a spot, and commuting just to fly became such a headache that I rapidly lost interest. Nowadays, I mostly fly my 75mm indoors at home, simply because I spend a lot of time here and it fits my daily routine perfectly. So even though the 5-inch platform is incredibly popular, and rightfully so, it might not be the right choice for you on day one. Don't get me wrong, it's tons of fun at first, but once the initial excitement fades and you hit your first plateau, having a rig that requires too much effort to travel with or find spots for can completely kill your motivation. It leads to people abandoning this amazing hobby entirely, and that's exactly what I want to help you avoid. Choose the right rig and stick time will come naturally. That's how you will become a skilled pilot really fast. If flying FPV drones is for you and you're serious about this hobby, your first drone is very likely not going to be your last one. You're gonna try out different rigs, sizes and styles of drone and probably start building your own. I made this video to help you get there as smooth as possible and help you make the important choice of choosing your first drone, so you spend as much time as you need on your sticks to make you a good pilot who is in control and can just enjoy flying. In the end, that's really what it's all about. And that's all for today. Leave a like if you found this video helpful and subscribe to my channel so I can make more videos like this one for you. Thanks for watching and happy flying!